Truth is absolute.
Heart.
Exhilarating hearts.
America.
Reawakening America.
Good day, US of A. We're here to affirm truth is absolute, to tell stories that accelerate the heart and reawaken the good people of America. This is Comer and Way. Well, America, wow, glad to have you back. Man, me and Dave are back again, and we've got a topic here that is definitely a hot button for me, and definitely one that I think my partner here has a few thoughts on. But Dave, how you been?
I'm actually starting to be like a little more relaxed. Work is slowed down, and you can breathe a little.
Exactly, kind of catch your breath and maybe actually go out inside and see what's happening.
Like be in the sun?
Be in the sunshine?
Wow.
Yeah, if we had some sunshine.
I am a solar person, I feel, so.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that we've been having such a wet spring and beginning of summer here that, you know, I haven't gotten to see much of the sun. And so anytime it's out, I relish it.
I agree. Like we've had a few days where we started working on the garden, and it was nice to get a sweat in.
Yes.
And there's sometimes working in the yard is almost more workout than going to the gym because you're using completely different muscles. Or the same muscles in different ways.
You use your body in a totally different way when you're actually working.
Yeah, I remember Arnold used to say that he'd go work his job of construction and then go spend 5 hours at the gym.
Wow.
What a guy.
That's a guy.
Yeah. So, yeah, today we're going to talk about American Idol.
Yeah, but not quite that.
Oh, wait. Not the TV show?
Not quite the TV show.
No, we're going to talk about what we see as a different kind of idol.
Exactly. We're talking about one that people really don't necessarily know that they're actually worshiping.
Yeah, and we have called it the God of Safety.
Yep. The God of Safety.
Yeah.
And the reason why I call it the God of Safety is because it has become such a mantra in today's society. It is how people even tell each other goodbye. They say, "Oh, be safe."
Oh yeah, yeah. Take care.
Take care. Be safe.
That's so true. Wow.
And it is so integrated into our society now that not only has it become an insidious part of our life, but it actually demands to be worshipped.
Yeah, and it's taken over other industries besides like the construction yard and stuff. And it's kind of dumbified us a little bit.
To me, there's a spirit that is pushing behind this. It's agenda-driven, you know, and basically there's a spirit behind it because what it is doing is actually putting mental slavery upon us because people will adopt anything. They adopt it so quickly to be safe.
Yeah.
It has become such almost a insatiable monster.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, there's always more that you have to comply with.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we got to do this. We got to do this. We got to do this. And they don't even think. You and I both know personally of a gentleman who was killed on a construction site.
Yep.
And this particular gentleman was the safety pusher. He was actually all about it. But what had happened was there was all these regulations and policies and procedures and everything, but he didn't follow them. Mm-hmm. And he ended up getting killed. Yep. This is my whole point, Dave. I said our safety is up to us.
Yeah.
God instilled into us a healthy sense of self-preservation and a healthy sense of fear.
Yeah.
But he also gave us the propensity to take risk, and he asked us to trust him.
Yeah. It's weird to think God asks us to take risk, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So let's break this down a little bit. So you think it's a spirit that's kind of like taking advantage of like the goodwill that mankind has to look out for each other in a way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The union started out as a good thing to protect the workers from being taken advantage of.
Yeah.
OSHA has been started to help protect the workers from their bosses putting them in danger. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's great.
There's been some good regulation coming out of it, like how doors should open, stuff like that, you know.
And I see that. That is common sense thinking.
Yeah.
You know, you're getting a huge group of people concentrated in one area. What are the best ways of getting these people out in emergency? Because they know an individual is smart, but people are dumb.
Yeah.
A mass of people become panicked.
Yeah.
And they just become like animals. And if you get in the middle of it, you're tramped just like in a
exactly
in a stampede.
Yep.
coming from such a freer state and a freer way of life that I've lived, it was everything that you did, you had to pay attention. The times that I got hurt, I realized I was not paying attention.
Yeah.
I was in a hurry.
Yeah. I have a real life example of that type of attitude, like where you have that safety that's built into you. Is like where I work, they have this giant cat. It's an auditorium, so they have a giant catwalk with lighting and stuff. And to hang the lights, you literally have to reach over off the catwalk and hook it to a bar and then tighten knobs to secure it there.
Yeah.
And doing that, you're very aware of how your body's situated, your grip. Like my hands, I was kind of nervous a little bit because I'm not up on heights very much. But so you're aware, like, okay, I'll dry my hands, I'll get this position, I'll lean like this. And you're talking about it with someone that you're working with because the lights are heavy. I mean, that's naturally built into you.
Exactly.
I didn't have to read a book to go, oh, I should probably make sure I'm secure.
Exactly.
You know, it's just there. When you're nervous and when you're in a position where you're uncomfortable is important.
Yes.
Your brain kicks in and your natural instincts of survival kick in. And I think that's true in most scenarios. And then a lot of times society or safety can start to take some of that away.
It tries to turn that instinct off because now you're relying on a piece of equipment. And the danger in that is equipment fails.
Yeah.
So people become relaxed.
Yeah.
They think, oh, well, I'm tethered here, so, I can lean over. I can go over balance. What happens if that tether breaks?
Yeah.
I mean, you and I both witnessed a construction project, and everything they had to do, they have spent millions more in the buildings, always addressing a what-if scenario. What has happened is now we have given the power to like fire marshals and companies to be able to tell us what to do, what we can and cannot do with our property.
It is really amazing, like how many inspections you have to have based on the looks on their face. It's almost like they want the building to fail. That's weird to me. There's something else there. It's like there's a fight. They know they've got this authority and they're going to tout it.
That is where I'm starting to take an issue with, because there's a spirit that is driven behind this where people start throwing their weight around, saying that, you've got to do this or we'll shut you down.
Yeah.
You've lost the freedom to do what you wanted in your own building.
It's like, I think me and you have talked about this off of the air before about how it's kind of a similar spirit that wants to push like the global warming things to where you really suppress businesses. To individuals may not have the goal to crush businesses, but the spirit wants poverty. The spirit wants lack.
Yeah.
Because God wants us to be prospered in all things.
Right.
So the enemy's got to come back and go, well, I want people in poverty. So how am I going to trick people into doing something that looks good?
Yeah.
But really behind it is this crushing aspect. And I think we're seeing the fruit of that.
Yeah.
Anymore.
Yeah.
There's so much regulation, businesses can't even function.
The spirit of our enemy is coming at us on all these avenues. You boil it down, it's all about control.
Yeah.
It's all about getting us in a one certain spot to where they can have ultimate control. And that first starts in the mind.
Yeah.
And that's why I say this is where this whole safety thing has poisoned people's minds because they don't think anymore. I mean, people change their whole vacation plans or whatever at the hint of bad weather. I come here from Idaho, and it just amazes me that they close schools just for a little piffle of snow. If the buses could get moving down the road, we were having school.
Right.
It's the whole analogy of the frog in the pan of water. Frog in the pan, and you slowly turn it the heat, you can boil them to death.
That's true.
And this is the element of safety.
Yeah.
They're taking away the initiative of you becoming a better, more alert, more aware person.
When it comes to the point where your free will is taken away,
there you go.
You really, you become a slave to whatever the thing is you follow.
Right. There you go. When they made the seat belt law, that's when it really hit me. I mean, this has been years ago. But I understood that, wait a minute, hold on. How is it that, it is my choice to wear one or not? Yes, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It's a good idea to wear your seatbelt. I'm not disputing that fact.
Yeah.
But what I'm disputing is that I have been robbed of that choice.
Yeah. Liberty is choices.
Yep.
And a free market, for instance, should be choices. You should be able to choose what bread you want to eat. You should be able to choose if you want to drink Coke or smoke cigarettes or whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
As long as you're not hurting others,
Right.
you should have the liberties. And when government comes in and they go, oh, we're going to raise the price of Coke because we want people to make healthier choices, who are you to decide what's healthy for me? Because
Right.
maybe you only have a glass a week. And
Yeah.
that's not hurting anybody, right?
Right.
And then you infect the whole economy in your town because everybody goes, well, I can't buy my soda because it's so expensive. I'm going to the next county. And then the entire county suffers now.
Right.
And that's true in New York. Surprise, surprise. But it's the same principles. When the government tries to control through an attempt to protect you, it really hurts the area it tries to protect.
Yeah.
Instead of encouraging people, hey, maybe have one less soda a week, or maybe just let people do what they want. If people want to be fat, let them be.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. The overriding principle is all about control. And eventually people are going to find themselves in this position where, they can't do anything anymore.
Yeah.
You read our history, Dave.
Here we go.
Wouldn't have been, we wouldn't become a nation if we played it safe.
Oh, that is so true. Was it safe to sign the Declaration?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Being hung?
Listen to the verbiage that they said. We pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, our sacred honor. They knew when they signed that declaration that they were signing their death warrant.
It's kind of like a treasonous move to go against your king.
Yeah.
Basically, open rebellion. They declared open rebellion.
Yeah.
That's not safe.
No.
Most people die and get hung. Or worse. Mostly worse.
Exactly. They didn't play it safe.
Yeah. There's probably more examples of historical characters not playing it safe, I would think.
Oh, yeah. Man, you read the stories in the Old Testament, you'd never hear the ones of the people who played it safe.
Wait. Let's think about this for a second. That's a great point.
Uh-huh.
So you mean Moses wasn't playing it safe?
Yeah. One great example. Moses. When he was in the desert, he was talking with God, and God asked him to pick up a snake.
No thanks.
How safe
That's not very safe.
was...
And another thing, the guy saw a burning bush, and he goes up to it. Most of us would be like, forest fire, out.
Out.
I'm out.
You look at Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Oh, yeah.
That story.
Yeah.
When they stood up against the king, when all the crowd was bowing to the name of Nebuchadnezzar, the three just stood up. And what was the crowd doing? They were trying to make them bow.
Yeah.
How safe was that standing up?
I mean, when they decide in their hearts, they made a decision. And when they decided to not follow, they knew something pretty bad was coming.
Yeah. A fiery furnace. A fiery death. They're going to be toast.
That's not safe.
That's not safe. How about when Moses was leading the Israelites out of Egypt?
Are you saying that crossing the Red Sea seemed perfectly safe?
Yeah.
There were probably Coast Guard boats and stuff around to
Oh yeah, they had just missed the ferry.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, that's true.
There was a ferry, and they got there, and they just missed it. And Moses goes, God, what are we going to do? My whole point in this, Dave, especially the stories about the Bible, is that God did not ask us to put our safety first. God asked us to trust Him. And I think you came across some good scriptures.
Yeah. So I agree that God put a sense of safety in us, and He also asked to trust in Him. Psalm 4:8 says, "In peace I will lie down and sleep. For you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety." So David knew that God just encamped safety around him, protected him, But there's more. Proverbs 27:12 says, "The prudent see danger and take refuge.
Yeah.
But the simple keep going and pay the penalty." So there is something on our part
Yeah.
God will instill in us safety, and he can communicate us certain things, but we have to be prudent, and we have to take initiative to preserve ourselves.
Right.
Psalm 118:8 says, "It is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in humans."
Yeah.
And I think that comes back to our prudence, and you can regulate everything under the sun all you want.
Right.
And if you don't listen,
Yeah.
it could cost your life.
Right.
So safety's in our hands. God will provide angels. He'll provide his word to protect us, but he does require a level of prudence for us. Like if we jump off a cliff going, I'm safe, probably not going to end out good.
Yeah, exactly.
But if there's some kind of a scenario where you're not, maybe you didn't notice something, there can be redemption for that.
Yeah.
God can step in, and there's times I should have been in an accident, or there should have been an accident that was my fault, that God's
Divinely.
hand stepped in. Like, I feel like I have to tell the story.
Oh, tell me.
So we had this trailer, and while driving up to Denver, the hitch broke on the trailer, and it fell, and it rubbed the chain.
Ooh.
And as soon as I noticed that happen, I started to get over.
Yeah.
There was no traffic in that area. I was able to get over to the side of the road, and by the time I got over and stopped, that's when the chain was done rubbing the asphalt and was basically decimated.
Just gone.
Just imagine if I was driving full speed, couldn't get over, and that chain was wore down to nothing. That could have been, the trailer could have tumbled everywhere.
Yeah.
But I was able to get over to the edge of the road. The trailer was like 5 feet behind the truck at that point.
Wow.
And then right at that point, there's like the highway safety tow truck that just drives up and down. He pulled up right away and was able to tow it out of the way.
Wow.
And that was the hand of God for that to work. Because if there were cars next to me and I couldn't get over, I guess that's my point in saying that God will intervene too.
Yeah.
We also have responsibility.
Yeah. That's exactly it. There's a balance in between the two. I mean, he gave us the instinct of self-preservation and of a healthy sense of fear, from bodily harm. And but there's also scenarios of where people won't take a chance and they miss out because they were too concerned about safety. I mean, I look at my life, Dave. I mean, everything that I've done, I've lost control with, bicycles, with skis, with motorcycles. I've been bucked off horses I don't know how many times. I've tipped four-wheelers. I've gotten caught up in, got pinched between an excavator bucket and a wall when a guy wasn't looking.
Wow.
I mean, I've climbed cliffs and I've fallen good 40 feet. I've been kicked. I've been, bruised. I've had teeth knocked out. I've had, bones broken. I've had nails shot through my hand. I've had, and it's like I've had gasoline in my eyes. I've had a bullet in my butt. I've had, I have been divinely protected. I mean, after some major deal, and after I catch my breath, I realize like I'm still alive. And I realize that is God's hand of protection.
Yeah.
But my point is, I wouldn't trade any of it because of the experience and the skills and the knowledge that I've gained. The price that I paid was in pain, but I wouldn't trade it for anything.
That's a great point, because you could be afraid to do certain things and just not do it, and you could miss out on living.
Yeah.
And it's not worth it.
Where people are today is they alter their lives completely now because it's not safe. My point is, Dave, there's something out there that's always going to kill you.
Yeah.
I mean, whether that's a germ, bacteria, a car wreck, something falling out of the sky.
Plane could land on your house.
Exactly. You can go down in the plane. You could, there's always something out there that's going to kill you. Why worry about it?
Yeah. Yeah. If it's in your understanding and control, you can prevent it.
Right.
And if it's not, you can trust God to protect you.
Right. And what I'm saying is that, Dave, our safety's up to you. And the push that we see here in the States is there's more to it than that.
Yeah.
There's the spirit of control behind it to enslave us again. And it's coming in all avenues.
Yeah. I mean, you can have anything done if you claim safety.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, people will just adopt it with no question.
Yeah.
Benjamin Franklin said it best. Those who would give up liberty for a little bit of safety deserve neither.
Well said. Well, America, we'd love to have your comments on this topic because it's not something talked about.
Yeah.
So after we post this video, I'd like to just leave a comment, leave a like. Let us know your thoughts. Maybe you have a story you could tell. Is there an email about that stuff? Is it stories?
Yeah, they can email us at stories@comerandway.com.
We'd like to hear your horror stories, within reason, of course.
That's right.
And your close encounters. So we'd like to hear your opinion on this. So I hope you guys have a safe week.
David.
Be responsible.
Yes. Have a responsible and fun week.